body bags, where horror lies.
Who is this irresistible creature who has an insatiable love for the dead?
Hey guys, welcome to week 6 of Body Bags. This is your fright chick speaking. Happy Wednesday everybody. Okay, so it's Ghost Week this week, and for my pick I decided on Ghost Ship, the 2002 horror classic Ghost Ship. Sorry about the glare. Yeah, so I absolutely adore this movie. This is going to be a very favourable review right now. There's not going to be too many moments of slugging it off or anything. It's a pretty good movie. Okay, so yeah, it came out in 2002 and it stars Desmond Harrington and Emily Browning, one of her earlier roles before she went on to become pretty famous actually, Sucker Punch, all that sort of stuff. And we've got Gabriel Byrne, of course. I've got a thing for Gabriel Byrne. He's cool. So Ghost Ship starts off with a sort of flashback that centres around this humongous ship called the Antonio Graza. And basically we see Emily Browning as a young girl called Katie. She's travelling alone, and there's a whole bunch of, like, you know, really rich people on this ship, and they all suddenly get killed in the most sickest way ever. This humongous wire cuts through a whole sea of people. A lot of other stuff happens, but we'll get to that in a bit. So yeah, that's basically the opening of the movie, and then we cut to 40 years later where we have a boat salvage crew consisting of Gabriel Byrne, and I can't remember the woman's real name, but basically the woman from The Good Wife. I can't remember her real name. So she plays Epps, and she's going to be our star of the movie. They get approached by a man called Ferryman, who has spotted basically this ghost ship out to sea, and he wants them to go and basically salvage it. And he's like, yeah, you know, as soon as I told you about it, I'll get a cut of whatever you find, but you guys can have the rest. They don't really want to do it at first, but then he's like, look, you know, it's really big ship, you know, it could be worth millions. So they take him up on his offer. So they go out into the middle of the ocean and they decide to go aboard it. Gabriel Byrne's character automatically recognises the Antonio Graza as a very famous ghost ship. So he's like, yeah, this is going to be worth millions. You know, they all knew that it just disappeared one day for no reason. Once they get aboard the ship, we start seeing some pretty freaky stuff, people. Katie makes an appearance. Her ghost makes an appearance to Epps quite a few times throughout the movie. She is not marked by this entity. It's like a sort of demonic entity that's controlling all the ghosts that are on the ship, and it has to fill a quota. Now, I'm not going to tell you the twists. I'm not really going to give away too much about the movie, but the entirety of the movie is the salvage crew wandering around, you know, throughout the decay, finding stuff to salvage, and obviously realising that there's something very wrong with this ship, and there's a reason why, you know, it disappeared and no one's ever been able to find it and stuff. They also find out that the ship is bound for some rocks and it's going to sink, so they have to get about trying to fix it as well as salvaging what they can. Yeah, so throughout the movie we have quite a lot of really decent special effects, and you know, there's obviously some people die. I'm not going to say who, but yeah, I mean, I've always found it a really enjoyable movie. The replay value on this movie is very high. I could sit there and just like watch it over and over again during the day. I must admit the story is very good. It's a good concept, you know, the fact that they're stuck on this boat and we have like a whole mess of ghosts doing different things to them, you know, some are like, you know, poltergeists, some are just like showing themselves and whatnot, and obviously some of the crew members do die, so their ghosts come back and all this sort of stuff. And then of course we find out a really great twist during the movie, who's going to survive, who's going to stop the evil, etc, etc, etc. Yeah, this movie was made for 20 million. I can see why. There's some pretty big special effects in this. A few explosions, a lot of blood, all that kind of stuff. And it made about 70 million. So that's successful. I mean, it wasn't like a humongous success. It wasn't like, didn't spawn any sequels. Let's put it that way. Should have done. Actually, no, it can't have done. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that I need to say except for the pros of it. The special effects are amazing. I think the acting was pretty good. I like the cast. They're all really, you know, strong characters, even though, you know, Obviously some of them have to be the first to go. But yeah, the cons of the movie, I can't really think of any. I think they could have done a bit more with the whole ghostly happenings. I mean, yeah, there are a lot, and obviously the twist is great, and, you know, the flashbacks are all good, but I think they could have done a little bit more. I will give away one little thing, because it is one of probably the most awesome kills I've ever seen in a whole movie. Obviously there is a flashback at one point from Katie to show Epps how, basically the beginning of the movie, how she and all the other people on the boat were killed in the first place to sort of create this whole situation. So she walks around having a whole flashback with her, and there is a woman called Francesca, and she appears throughout the movie. She's a singer, and there is one point where we get to see the way she died, and she gets this humongous like hook that they use to lift crates and things, and it just falls, and you're seeing it from the angle of her cheek, and it falls and it hits her straight in the neck, and she just swings around. And oh man, when I first saw that, I thought that was the most amazing thing in the world. So you know what, even if you didn't like the movie, you got to have liked that. That was awesome. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about it, but yeah, good movie. Give it a watch. It's pretty cheap. I'm sure you can get it for about £3 on play.com. Same goes for Amazon. Yeah, so check us out next week for week 7. I cannot remember which week it is. I do believe it is Stephen King week. Hope it's Stephen King week. Although I'm a little bit annoyed because I really, really desperately wanted to review the new Carrie that's coming out with Chloe Grace Moretz. Only it comes out 2 days after my review has to be up. Super annoyed. Bye.